This movie was genuinely the worst thing I've seen all of 2020. Now there was two writers, Max Landis, who's known for like American Ultra and Chronicle, and Roseanne Lang, who honestly hasn't directed anything that the average person would know. Now that being said, Roseanne Lang had all directive power over this project. Now I'll be brutally honest with you guys. I love Chloe Grace Moretz. She's phenomenal and kick-ass, fifth wave if you're high enough. But Miss Moretz, I'm sorry, they dragged you into this. The story is about Chloe, who plays like this World War II British flight officer who has to deliver a package for her superiors, but has to take an allied plane to get to her destination. We're starting strong, right? Alright, just stay with me because it gets a little more confusing. She traps herself in the gunner seat at the lower deck, then gremlins show up. The moment Miss Lang, the director, introduced the antagonist as a gremlin instead of, I don't know, the Japanese during World War II. The minute she introduced the gremlin, the story starts to fall apart. But what do I know, Miss Lang? I just watched the movie. Spoiler alert, shit happens, and the twist is that Chloe is actually a civilian that lied her way through the military, so her and another guy who is also in the same plane that she managed to sneak on can go live a happy life. Because the package isn't actually a package, it's a baby. It's a child. You still with me? If that didn't make any sense, imagine watching this film and that all unfolding in front of you, and you have to decipher that. Now let's jump into what I didn't like from this movie. It feels like it tried three different genres at once, and it shows. It's not like a mesh. It's more like we're gonna do each genre, and we're just gonna go with the flow. You have action, romance, and horror, and I would even say drama, but it's not drama because nothing really interesting happens between any of the characters. It's just a bunch of shit talk. I mean, this film genuinely feels all over the place. There's literally a part in the film where she gets blown up and flies directly back into the helicopter, and she just like gets up and moves the fuck on. And there was like multiple parts of the movie but like she's holding this package while she's on the upside down of the plane holding while the plane is literally in a dogfight. It made no fucking sense. It was driving me up the walls. And you're telling me two grown adults, two grown adults, you're talking fucking Max Landis and Roseanne, two grown fucking adults, came up with this shit and said, "This is good. This is good. We like it. We like it." And it's fucking insane to me. Just, I also want to add that there is nothing, and I mean nothing, Chloe cannot do in this movie. She's a fucking mechanic, pilot, boxer, dispatch rider, monster fighter, fucking shooter. Like she don't miss a fucking shot. She literally fights the gremlin hand to hand at the end and wins. Like, dude, you guys couldn't kill the fucking gremlin with guns and turrets. Yes, she's gonna 1v1 him like it's fucking Modern Warfare 2. But no, the tone in this movie is basically men bad, women good. So if you're into that, you get a message to get, you know what I mean? But hey, what do I know? I just wasted an hour and 10 minutes of my time. Sorry I couldn't bear the cringe of the last 10 minutes of this film. Also, last thing is, there's some really bad slash cheesy lines in this film. And it's really apparent when Chloe talks about her backstory that we get the really cheesy and terrible lines. And I mean, absolutely fucking dog. But I mean, the story sucks ass too, so like, I don't know. I mean, bad dialogue and bad story come kind of like hand to hand. You know what I mean? All right. So quickly, what did I like from this film? Um, the first 15 minutes are really good. It starts as like we can't trust Chloe, but Chloe doesn't trust anyone on the plane type stuff. And honestly, it starts pretty good. It's just when Act 2 starts, around the time where the gremlin is introduced, that the movie starts to go downhill. Because then the movie tries to introduce the Japanese fighters and the gremlin, and like, oh, people on the fucking flight wanna hurt Chloe because they don't trust. It's a bunch of mimbo jabber. It feels like it was literally two people that wanted two separate films, and they broke off, and they try to put everything in there, and this is what you get. Just a mess. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to be talking about things I like. There was some funny lines in the movie. Um, along with Chloe trying to give the best performance she can, but the script and the story doesn't really offer a lot of room for an actor to shine. You literally have an actor in one area the entire film. She did her best, but like that's all I can really say. I low key like the vibe of the movie too. The aesthetic that they were aiming for, the kind of like techno, like modern day World War II, if that makes any sense. All in all, this movie is kind of a fucking mess. You can kind of watch it for a good little laugh. Why not? It's a good little chuckle. This is definitely a movie where you get a bunch of buds together and you just want to shout a movie. Honestly, they should have just kept this film. And I don't mean kept it as in like kept and kept developing on it. I mean this film would have been a better service to everyone if the fucking editor just accidentally deleted the whole thing and just his whole computer just fucking blew up because nobody would have had to see the dumpster fire that is this film. Sorry, Miss Mortez. I'm sorry, Miss Lang. Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Landis. But this movie gets easily a 2 out of 10. Should you watch it? Hell no. You'll probably have a better time watching paint dry.